I would like to please ask the Dharma Master to talk a bit more about the nature of time. Because we often feel that time is irreversible, a kind of linear time. We talk about the 3 times in Buddhism: past, present, and future. We often live in a big city, and human life is very limited. How can we experience this psychological sense of time so that we don't feel constantly oppressed by the pressure of time in our daily lives? These are my 2 questions. Master, could you please help me answer them? Thank you.
In the ultimate reality, as clearly stated in the Diamond Sutra, the past mind cannot be grasped, the present mind cannot be grasped, and the future mind cannot be grasped. It is said that the 3 times are not real, and the Dharma realm is equal. There is such a teaching. But for now, the past history, present reality, and future dreams all need to exist. They all should have a place. So, from the Buddhist perspective, even though time and space are ultimately considered to be illusory, Einstein also said that our sense of time and space is actually a kind of distorted perception. Indeed, even modern science, when observing, finds that so-called time and space, apart from being concepts, cannot be found to truly exist. But even in this seemingly illusory process, it still brings us certain practical conveniences. Therefore, as a person of wisdom, one should plan for the future when it comes to their own time. One should also have a sense of cherishing the present moment. And for the past, there should be a sense of reflection, I think, in arranging the 3 times, past, present, and future, even though in the ultimate reality none of them truly exist. Right now, in this dreamlike, illusory world we live in, we also rely on it to manage and regulate our lives in an orderly way. Otherwise, without the concept of time, the entire world would fall into chaos. So I believe that the concept of time should actually be understood from 2 perspectives. From the ultimate perspective, time is of a single undivided nature, inseparable from emptiness. But in reality, our concept of time must be accurately recognized and understood.
Master, hello. I have 2 questions that I would like you to elaborate on. The first is about the idea that the world is equal and that everyone is equal. I'm starting to have some doubts about this, so I'd like to ask you, Master, to explain this phrase. The second question is about Masaru Emoto and his book, The Hidden Messages in Water. I'm a bit confused about this and would like your help in answering it. Thank you.
First, the world is fundamentally equal, and each and every one of us is equal. But our destinies are still unequal because of the karma we create, according to Buddhism, and as I just mentioned. When it comes to our destinies, many of the causes in the past are not exactly the same. If everyone had the same power, social status, wealth, appearance, intelligence, and compassion, if all of these were truly equal, then society wouldn't be so colorful and diverse, with all its unique differences and vibrant variety. So I think that if everyone were truly equal, it's only in a general sense. Some rights and obligations are equal. But in reality, each person's suffering and happiness are not equal. Even among twins, one might be very happy while the other is very miserable. So in this regard, as I mentioned, I firmly believe in the existence of so-called karma from past lives. If we don't use the existence of karma to explain this particular situation, honestly, many of the inequalities in this world, right here and now, including the phenomena we often complain about, would be impossible to answer one by one. Secondly, regarding the message from water, this was actually a Japanese scientist who, after conducting experiments over a long period of time, whether with water or with other plants, including apples and so on, when he praised them with loving words, they would survive for a long time. If we curse them with harsh words, their lifespan will be shortened. Even in appearance, they show negative reactions. This is what we often refer to as a kind of counterforce. The way we treat the world, including people who often lose their temper or frequently feel pain in their hearts. They won't live very long and they age especially quickly. If you are cheerful and very open-minded, when worries and pain arise in your heart, you don't pay attention to them, you don't dwell on them, and you are the kind of person who doesn't like to argue with friends or colleagues. On one hand, your appearance will always be wonderful. In Buddhism, it is said that those who practice patience always have a dignified appearance. So I think through this kind of question about the answer regarding water, it also, in particular, brings to light some of the forces of good and evil. This is not just a Buddhist perspective, but something that scientists have also discovered through experiments. Goodness is like a gentle medicine. It continually emits a kind of light. Evil, on the other hand, is like poison. It is harmful both to oneself and to others. So I often think that good and evil are just like medicine and poison. No matter how people talk about these two in any context or situation, in reality, they are two different forces, and no one can change the effects they have. In Buddhism, for example, we talk about the 10 virtuous and 10 unvirtuous actions. Although this is a Buddhist way of putting it, in fact, it is a law of nature. I hope that everyone here will take the opportunity in the future to study the profound meaning behind this natural law more deeply.
After coming here, I feel that I am surrounded by certain people. When they need something from you, they act friendly and warm. But when you no longer have any real value to them, they turn cold, emotionally distant, and withdrawn. Up to now, I actually have this feeling inside me that there is a tendency toward utilitarianism here. Right now, I really long for a peaceful heart. I ask for your guidance, Master. Thank you.
In our society, whether it is utilitarianism or not, such as in our daily lives, or any other kind of mentality and behavior, they are all considered to be completely normal. I believe that as we live in this society, in our daily lives, everyone's circumstances and connections are unique and different in various ways. Our ways of living and values each have their own unique characteristics. But the one thing we all have in common is the pursuit of the most noble, pure, and beneficial wisdom in life. When you finally reach and attain such a truly profound state of wisdom, no matter what colors or shapes the world presents, in your eyes it will appear pure, wonderful, and joyful. If our own mindset changes, the world also takes on a different appearance. Therefore, for each of us now, perhaps the most crucial thing is to face such a very complex situation, especially since people nowadays are often very restless at heart and always feel a considerable amount of pressure. But in fact, we don't really have that much pressure. Just go with the flow. Everything should be completely entrusted to fate, ultimately. Otherwise, I see many people who are now in college, many can't get in, and even those who do, the pressure is even greater for them. They feel that, in their view, when it comes time for job assignments, their salary ought to increase, their housing and many other arrangements ought to improve as well. If they themselves don't have a calm and peaceful mindset, they will always see society as something to complain about, and they often do. Even at school, they grumble about others and the whole world. And when they enter any department or company, they also find the boss annoying and the colleagues unpleasant. They're not satisfied with their living conditions, the food isn't good, the clothes aren't good either, the distribution is unfair, there's resentment about everything every day. In my opinion, people in society shouldn't constantly live in a state of resentment, pain, and suffering. No matter what, as Buddhism says, it's due to your own merit and the karma from your past lives, plus all kinds of present causes and conditions that have created the world you experience now. So this world is, no matter how much suffering or happiness you truly go through or experience, it ultimately becomes your world. When it becomes your world, you should willingly enjoy it. For example, I am a student at this school. When I am a student, I have this good fortune, and I face it with genuine joy. When I'm a teacher here, I feel that this environment is for me a truly happy and deeply satisfying one. So whether I go to other places to give lectures, or perhaps wherever I go, I have no complaints about this place or any other place. I feel this is my good fortune. It's a fascinating world that appears right before my very eyes. I should thoughtfully shift my perspective and attitude toward this world. In this way, I might live more happily, more joyfully, and with greater ease and freedom.